What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Let's Quack About It. We are here. I am Big Con. I am your co-host. I have another co-host on my screen to my right. It is Daddy Big Drew. How are you tonight?
What's up? I'm good, Big Con. How you doing?
I'm doing well. And then on the bottom of my screen, but definitely the tallest duck, is the Quackin' Ducker, Daxter. How you doing, Ian?
I'm doing good, Con. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Gentlemen, this is Let's Quack About It. And I'm very excited to have both of you on here. Mainly because you're my two favorite ducks. And I don't care that the other ducks hear it.
Forget about them.
Yeah, we don't need them. So I am Big Con, for the people that don't know who I am. I just started streaming not too long ago. Doing well. I have some amount of followers, I forget. Daddy Bick streams when he wants to.
Not very much. It was I started when you started to try and help point people in your direction, but streaming's not really my thing. I'm in it for what you guys bring to the table. I'm just happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you. And then Ian, who is the star duck because he created the ducks, with just one sentence, which is quite funny. Ian does a lot of different things for the ducks, let's be honest. He does not stream, but if he did, he would blow us away with basically his skill, because he's the most skillful duck.
And for Seed, he's our in-game IGL. He's our leader.
If he doesn't talk, we are screwed.
If Ian dies, we're done.
Yeah, when Ian dies, I literally feel like I'm like there. I'm like, well, I'm like one of the worst ones. Like, and Ian said, this team's gonna smoke us, which is quite true. We all live. Well, let me not say that. Drew moved away from Maryland because he wanted to get a better job or something. I don't know. But most of us
take care of a family.
Yeah, whatever that is. Can't believe it. But so that is why we're on Discord. We will post the Discord to YouTube so you can watch this, as well as hopefully I'm going to put it on Spotify so everybody can listen to it as well. So we're going to get started. I actually want to dive into how we all kind of became friends. Me and Ian are brothers, so unfortunately we were hooked.
We were stuck to each other, unfortunately.
Unfortunately for Ian. He has me as a brother. But Drew, I don't really remember when I met Drew. Drew kind of was just always at Sean and Mitch's house, who we'll meet on a later podcast. Do you remember?
Yeah, I think it was sometime maybe senior year of my senior year of high school.
Yeah, you're a lot older than us. You're like 40.
Yeah. I'll be 33 this year.
Yeah, 40.
No.
43.
A little bit older. Well, yeah, 30, 40, whatever. It's all the same. It's all old. That's what my kids tell me. So no, it was my senior year of high school. Mitch and I, oddly enough, became friends at a church conference that we went to. We both actually liked the same girl, which made us enemies, kind of at the beginning, and then somehow over this conference we became friends, and then we started hanging out, and we spent a whole ton of time together. And because you guys were neighbors with them, that's how I met you guys. So I feel like it was around that time. That would have been 2007, maybe. Yeah, close to 2007.
So, I remember Halo Nights.
I remember Halo.
That was the first time we met.
Yeah. Halo Nights were a big thing. That was after group on Tuesdays, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tuesday nights.
Yeah,
because me and Sean would try to scare the college kids that were going to his house, so we would hide in between cars and be like, blah. I don't know. We had
how old were you in 2007?
I was like 10, 11.
He was 11.
Sean was like
I
12.
was just starting high school, I think, the year after. So I was 13, 14.
Yeah, it's actually quite hilarious that I mean, we tried to scare everybody and it was really unfortunate because, like, during, like, not daylight savings time, when you did, like, fall back, it was definitely a better scare because it was, like, 7 o'clock at night. But when it was, like, in the summer, we were,
It was
like,
still bright.
it was bright, so we're, like, hiding, and they just walk by, like, hey, and you're like, darn it. Can't believe they saw us. Like,
But we would play Halo. I mean, what group ended at 8,
yeah.
maybe?
9.
And so we'd hang out there for like 20, 30 minutes. And then we would book it over to your guys' house, right to the basement.
Right to the basement.
Maybe we'd
Yep.
say hi to your parents, maybe not.
Yeah.
And we'd be down there until, what, 1,
Like
2 in the
1.
morning?
Yeah. I think at like midnight, my parents would come to like get me and be like, "You need to go to bed." I'm like, "No, I'm playing Halo," and I'm like dying every 5 seconds because I'm like 10. But
The quad screens.
oh, and then we would like
Yeah.
hook it up, and we had at one point one upstairs and one like this long ass cord going to the basement.
We had multiple TVs, didn't we?
We did, and like, we hooked it.
2 TVs.
And like I remember shouting down and shouting up, we're like, "We kicked your butt!"
Well, because we'd always pair up differently, right?
Yeah, we always
We'd
try
always
to rotate it.
I thought it was always the same because it was me, Adam, and Drew. That was like the standard 3, and then it was Tim, Mitch, and I guess Sean.
God.
It was like
Yeah, Tim
those,
showed up every now and then, didn't he?
Yeah.
So it was like 3v3, like consistently 3v3.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we would get Sean and Connor in there, and someone else might show up, but
Yeah, I would always watch. That was my main.
and it was the map. What was it? Last Resort or something like that. The map with the big wheel in the middle.
I love
Wheel in the middle. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I think I was just as bad at video games then as I am now.
You would get
So-
the spikers, right? And you'd
Oh,
get
yeah, the
double
needlers.
spikers. No, like you just
I would rarely get a kill, but it was my thing.
Yeah. Hey.
yeah. It was what Adam and Mitch were the ones.
Yeah,
that
they were. It was like a
going off.
fight to the death. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just hang around Adam when I was on Adam's team. I'd be like following behind, and I'd be like, "Yeah, kill him, Adam." I have a gun. I'm not really shooting. What do I know? Because you're the same
that's
age
a
as
good time.
Adam, right? Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought
Yep.
so.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
kind of funny. So that was.
Well, then from
You go.
that was the video game stuff, right? And then from there, it branched out into soccer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Football.
So like,
Football.
I feel like for a couple years we kind of like didn't see each other. You know, like we kind of went separate ways. But then like we got back into soccer with Sean and Mitch,
Yeah.
yeah.
and then from there we started going to like Slancha, and like all of us would go together like to those like Slancha for like Premier League, U.S. games, stuff like that.
Yep.
And then, so that was like probably what 2011, 2012.
2012. 2011.
When
Had to have
we
been-
started.
Yeah, because I got married in 2011.
Yeah.
So that was when, like that, the wedding was over, and then it was like, all right, we got all that stuff done. Let's get back into hanging out with people and doing stuff. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, 11, 12.
Yeah. Because I didn't talk to Sean for like, I don't know.
Couple years.
Because he did football, and I was a nerd who just stayed home playing video games. And I had like 3 friends that I would just consistently play with. And then like, I don't know, one of Ian's friends got us back like in a friendship for one, like he was only there for the day. And he was like, "Oh, like go over there and say hi to Sean." I was like, "Sean doesn't want me there. Like Sean doesn't talk to me." And he was like, "Go over there and say hi." And I went over there and said hi. And Sean was like, "Do we love soccer now?" Like I was like, "Oh, I don't know anything about soccer, but sure." And then he kind of was like, well, come on over and I'll show you. And then we played FIFA, and then it was like, yeah, soccer.
Right.
And then that's how we all did. Drew has a cannon of a right foot, by the way. As the goalie, I always was terrified when Drew was charging at me, and I was just like, if it goes in, guys, it's gonna go in. And Sean and Mitch would always get mad at me. They're always like, you gotta stand strong. I was like, have you seen him? Like, have you seen how hard he kicks the ball? He's trying to take off my head.
That's when it was on target.
Right.
It had to be on target.
Sky it right over.
Skied it. But like,
There he is. That's what Mitch would say. There he is.
when it was on though, it was a rocket, like right past me, and I was like, I'm not touching that. Obviously I saved a few shots, but like one of the people that actually like hurt me was Sean's brother-in-law, Matty. Like he had a rocket too. Like he shot at close range. I put my hand up. I think it was like Thanksgiving, like when we played on Thanksgiving in the morning.
Yeah.
And and it smacked my arm. I'm 99.999% sure I sprained my arm that day because I literally was in so much pain. I was like, that hurts so much, and then I kept playing because I'm an idiot and could have like damaged it way more. Yeah. But that's what we do. Like we would play hours in like 100-degree weather and like 10-degree weather. We were just like, whatever. Now I play for like an hour and a half, and I'm like, whew, I'm tired, and I'm not even moving.
Now. Yeah. That was when we could find a field.
A field.
I remember we were always bouncing around the different fields.
We'd have
like there were like 10 of them that we were like, all right, this one the goals are locked up. Let's go up the road. It's like, oh, that one's locked up. All right, there's one in Bel Air. Let's go to that one.
Yep.
Gallatin, go there.
Someone scout it out.
I remember the text threads that Mitch and I would try to create. Oh my gosh, it was so many people trying to coordinate.
It's like 80 people, right?
Yeah, it was something like that. It was, I remember it being close to 100. The last one I sent, I think, was close to 100.
That's insane.
It's nuts.
I'm amazed that we would field like 11v11 like every week.
Yeah, there were some big games.
There were some big games, yes. And I just remember the best one we had was, it was like 11v11. It was snowing. And like I think it was like 3-2 the final score. It was like the most realistic game I've ever been a part of. And the main thing I remember from that was Sean's handball, where it smacked his hand and went down, and he scored, and he was like, yeah. And I was like, that's a handball. And he goes, they wouldn't have called that in real life. I was like, you hit it down with your hand. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, he.
See, and if Sean was here, he could talk about that.
He could, but that's his problem, not mine.
What a loser!
I'm gonna just bash him since he can't defend himself. That's what we do here. So that's true. So we did soccer, and then Drew was like, "Hey guys, I hate you. I'm gonna head out to."
I remember that conversation.
He literally called me. And he was like, hey, Connor, I'm actually moving strictly because of you. I love everybody else, but you are the reason why I'm taking my entire family down to South Carolina. And I was like, all right, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you cried.
I did cry. I'm pretty sure there was a boombox outside of your house playing nice songs to you. Then the restraining order. I'm just kidding.
Well, I dropped that.
Yeah, because you left.
It was unnecessary, at that point.
So then he moved away. So the main reason why we stuck together as a friend group was because of gaming. And, I mean, I've been a gamer since I was like this big. Now I'm about this big.
You've never been that small.
My nickname when we were younger was Little Con. Now it's Big Con because I'm big. So, and then we played only one game for, I don't know how many years. I mean, 5. I mean, we played.
Well, there was a little Overwatch in there. There was a little.
You did like a week
in there of Overwatch. Yeah, I was terrible at that game.
No, Ian scared everyone away.
That's true. That is
We
true.
want to run pro strats. If you're not going to help, leave.
Literally. It was like, Drew's trying to like jump and he was like, press your LB and use your ability. What are you doing? And you're like, wee. I'm this
You're all right
Lucio
now.
guy.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah. So, and then, I mean, we did a lot of Siege. There was a little bit of, I mean, we did really like our Battlefield 1.
Oh, yeah.
Battlefield 1
It
was
was-
so good.
First of all, like, the game was amazing in itself. Like, the game was phenomenal game. But the trailer for it is what I just like. That is literally the vibe I get from when I play in that game. The glitch mobs, 7 Nation Army or whatever.
7 Nation Army. Yep.
I mean, like, literally when you play that game, it's like you can hear it in your head when you're riding a horse or in the plane or just on the ground shooting. I'm just like, yeah, this is it. But Siege was our main shebang. And Ian, would you like to explain how are the Duckers, or would you like me to?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was funny. It was you used to be able to down people, and then you would have to go over and kill them, because of the game mode secure objective. Well, I had downed the last guy, and I walked over to him, and on my gun, I had a little like rubber ducky charm, and I was like, "Quack, quack, motherfucker!" and
It is my favorite story to tell people. Whenever I'm like, oh yeah, my friend group, we're called the Duckers. Do you know why? And obviously, they don't know why. Because nobody knows that story unless I tell them. But I tell them. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure any person I meet, I'm like, yeah, I sent this picture to the Duckers. And they're like, the Duckers? I'm like, oh, let me tell you the story. I, like, sit down at a fireplace with, like, you know, a bottle of wine, and I'm like, let me tell you this amazing story. Quack,
Well, I think
quack.
part of what made it so cool was just the immediate reaction it got from all of us.
Yes.
You know, like there was laughing, there was cheering, because I think that was like a pretty hard fought match. And I think you did.
He
It was like
clutched
a
it.
1v something.
Yeah.
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 And so it just caused absolute mayhem.
Yep. It was. I literally remember it like so vividly, and like, it's. I'm on like honestly one of my favorite stories, and it was. And then like I think the next day we were like texting and we're like, yeah, that was so funny. We should be the Ducks, or like something like that, and like it kind of just grew into this.
I think it was Phil who was like, "It's like we should all change our name to the Duckers," and I was like, I guess. And then like I think 2 of you did it. I'm like, okay.
I think it was like almost immediate. It was just like, we're gonna do it, and like, how should we phrase it? Like, Quack MF, QMF. Like, we were like, that was a huge debate about like how to like word our name, and then we finally did word our name. And for a long time, it was Quack MF,
Quack MF, and then a name.
and then a name. And we just took whatever our gamer tags was. Mine was the worst one. Can we be honest with it? Like, mine was I literally was I love Fulham for years. I put Quack MF Fulham. I was like look back at that. I'm like, why did I do that? Like, I had such a good opportunity to be like a skipper, a doctor, captain, blood. Like, there was so I was like, I'm gonna be Fulham.
Drew's was Obey the Skipper, right?
Yeah.
Obey the skipper, yeah. So the skipper name came from the Madagascar penguins.
But I never knew that. I never knew that.
Yep. So me and Phil, we played on the GameCube. We played Medal of Honor: Rising Sun on the GameCube, and we were like, "Hey, we're gonna be like a squad, and we'll each take names. What names should we take?" And there may be more to the story, but it was basically like, "Oh, let's do, you know, Phil will be Rico, and I'll be, I'll be Skipper," and then I don't know. That's where that came from.
That's actually
I'm trying to remember where Obey the Skipper came from. I don't know where that came from.
That's actually quite amazing. I never knew. I just assumed it was, I don't know, like some sort of inside joke or something weird. I never knew it was from that. That's actually
Yeah, we stole.
That's actually quite awesome.
Because I think Phil's gamer tag used to be Rico, ex-agent Rico or something like that.
Oh, I think it was like Agent Rico or something.
Yeah, and
vaguely
Rico
remember.
was one of the penguins. Yeah.
And then he switched to Blood Slave, which I don't know
Yeah.
where that came from. It would be interesting to hear where that came from.
Maybe I'll let
initially.
him tell you. Yeah, he's got a tattoo that says slave across his back.
I didn't even know that.
It's like a. Oh man! Well, we'll save it for another episode.
Wow,
Yeah.
I'll have to ask him about. I'm gonna. I don't have a pen. Ian, do you have a pen?
I do have a pen.
Let's get into that real quick. What a segue!
transition!
What a segue into it. But that's funny. Yes, Ian, write that down. I want to know about this tattoo that I've never seen or heard of, which is interesting because I
I think
feel
it's like right on the back, like top of his back, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever paid attention. Also, when Phil takes off his shirt, I tend to run because that means something bad is about to happen. So,
Yeah.
I'll save my favorite story for Phil another time. I vividly remember at Sean's bachelor party how much this man can drink, and it was just insane. But I'll save that story as well for when Phil is here.
Do you
Well,
have
then-
that GIF that we made? It was not
I'm
a
sorry.
bachelor party.
I'm sorry.
It's a GIF.
I'm sorry, let's hold on.
settle
Right.
down.
Excuse
It
me.
is
I'm
pronounced
It's
GIF.
a GIF.
GIF. We'll go with GIF.
It is a
GIF.
GIF. We don't say GIF.
Well, I may stand my
Have
ground.
you been saying that for years?
I go back and forth.
You gotta take a stand, man.
I'm gonna stand right now. GIF.
Right here.
Right here, right now.
I
I'll
probably.
send it.
I think I have it.
Yeah, you gotta have it. I know that we've sent it out.
I think I actually put it in one of my in my favorites because I used it so
Yeah,
much for a while.
Yeah.
I would send
Yep.
it to coworkers when they would be like, "Hey, are you busy? I need to call you," and I would send that.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Well, you should play that when he's on
I will.
as his intro.
Yes, yeah, just put it on top of his screen.
Yep.
The whole time. It's just that picture of him That's fine.
Oh, I know what it is now.
Yeah.
It took me a
It's a
second
GIF.
to remember it.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
It is funny. That's
That ironically that happened shortly after I moved away.
maybe it had something to do with it.
Well, that's what he would say.
That's just what he would say. I'll say it for him, since he didn't want to come either. Onto the concast.
Well, now his wife is pregnant, so you never know.
That's true. She could be.
Maybe she,
Yeah, she could be pregnant
maybe
blocking.
she's dealing with. I've never heard of that before.
It is
But you could be right.
it's a thing. It happened to me.
Oh.
Although the whole relationship was a pregnant black. I'm just kidding. It's just a joke. Let's move
Time
on.
for another step.
We'll move on. Yeah, that's a whole other. It's a whole other episode. That would be a solo cast. Just talking to the camera.
If you stream that live, I will watch it. That would be a live episode I would not want to miss.
That's a live episode. It doesn't get saved anywhere. If you miss it, it's gone.
It's done.
It's done.
Yep.
That's funny. So then we became the Duckers, right? So we moved. We played. Siege for years and years and years. We did a bunch of other stuff, and then we all It's really interesting. Our group. When one drops, another just fills in. So when we're going along this every year we do stuff and whatever, and it seems like one drops out because of life or whatever, and the other one just kind of plugs in, and then that person drops and then plug and then drop and then plug. It's kind of funny. We've been doing that for a couple of years because Drew abandoned us twice actually.
Well, yeah, I moved, but that doesn't really count because
an
I was still playing.
No.
I was still involved.
Left
Last
the
year, I took a break.
He
from,
did,
from video games.
which we all do need
A
breaks.
hiatus.
Yes.
A hiatus, yes. And then I came back with a vengeance.
Yes, you did.
You know what's really sad about that? So I remember that day.
Let me back.
Let me in.
It's really funny about that day when you texted and you were like, "I'll play." I was like, I think I was at work, and I was like, I need to leave work early to get home to get on because I need to play with Drew. And everybody's like, we're gonna play, and it was kind of like whoever gets there first. I couldn't leave work as early as I wanted to, and I got home, and I think I missed out by 20 minutes or something. I was literally upset. I went upstairs into my bed and I was like, I missed it. And my girlfriend is like, what are you talking about? I was like, Drew's playing and I missed it. I had to work. I should just quit my job.
We were kind of like, ladies and gentlemen, we got him back. Got him. We got him to plug it back in, baby.
And the reason why we got him to plug it back in, if I remember you correctly, is because we were sending videos of kills. We were doing game captures and playing.
Yep.
And it was almost a year for the day.
Yeah,
too,
it was almost exactly a year because I remember having this conversation with Phil over Christmas. Dude, I really want to focus on fitness this year, and I may have to take a step back from video games, but I want to get back into it at some point, but I'm going to take a step away. And I was like, man, I gotta stick to this, and a lot of good stuff happened in the year, but you guys were. Well, thank you. But yeah, a lot. You guys kept me in the group, which was pretty cool because I think there were threats to take me out.
There were many late night council meetings from me. 3 a.m.
Yep.
Should we kick him out? Nobody responds. But
yeah, I'm glad you guys didn't do that. But no, then you guys were sending stuff, and then I started watching. I think I tuned into one of the Pro League Siege events and was like, I got to get back. I got to freaking get back. And then since then it's been. Trade in the old Xbox, get the new Xboxes. Are we doing streaming? Are we not doing streaming? I went in on the Monday night deal, which caused some issues.
there was some issues.
How do we deal in a squad of a 5-stat game with 6 people?
Yeah.
How do we do it?
We don't.
And that's
don't do it well.
That's now our thing.
But
I found my niche again. Even if Monday nights are not a constant thing, you guys send me your kill clips, and I put them into a montage. That makes me happy. It makes you guys happy. It's all good.
That's true, and they're actually well made, and I actually watch them quite often, which is kind of funny. And I watch.
You watch it quite often.
I watch them over because I like watching everybody's style. Gary's a very interesting player, and we'll talk about Gary in a second. But because how he became a duck is funny. But I watch him and I'm like, what are you doing? Every once in a while when he's killing people, it's very I'm like.
He's the one with Parkinson's, not true?
He's like, give that to him.
He's all, yeah. Your hiatus, it has to transfer to one of the other people.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, Gary. Yeah, that was the joke with me. Was I was so unstable. When I would get excited, or if it was a tense situation, I just couldn't control my thumbs, and I just would jerk all over the place. And they'd be like, "Dude, chill out with the Parkinson's, man. You got to knock it off." And so that became my thing. Yeah. But apparently I've given it to Gary now.
Yeah. Gary everyone's
Although it did happen the other night. Sean was like, what are you doing? I was like, I don't know, man. I freaked out. I'm sorry.
It'll be okay.
I made a mistake.
That's
funny. I remember Gary also.
But go ahead. Before we talk about Gary, real fast, we should talk about how I got the Daxter.
Oh yes.
Because we did not talk about it. I was trying to find a way to get back into it. So I know initially I think my gamer tag was Ian the Great or Ian is Great.
Mm-hmm. Ian is
10.
Great. Okay.
And at some point I was like, I don't want to have my name in my gamer tag.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had been watching like Doctor Who like at some point, and I was like, like, so I went like, "Hi, I'm the Doctor" or something like that. So I was "Hi, I'm the Doctor," and then when we decided like, "Oh, let's change the name," I was like, "Oh, I'll just be Doctor." It works though, because I like in Battlefield 1, I was always a medic.
That's true.
I would literally run across. I would be like safe in cover, and someone would die in the middle of a field. I was like, "Well, I gotta go get him." Run out and get him. Come back.
Come get me.
I'm coming. I'm
have
already
a-
here.
I have a clip. Where it was like I was in a one of the like a building, and there were literally like 10 people down in the building. I just was like, I've got to pick them all up. I'm just running up and down this building, like reviving everyone around.
That is funny.
But yeah, I don't watch Doctor Who anymore. Really, like I haven't since Tennant left. No, not Tennant. Who's the guy after?
The older guy.
No, before the older guy.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name.
I can't remember his name. That's bad.
Never watched Doctor Who.
It's the 12th
It's
Doctor. 11th Doctor? 11th Doctor. But
I need to Google. I'm sorry, I'm gonna Google it. I need to know his name.
because it was Christopher Eccleston or whatever. He was like my first Doctor. He's my favorite. Then it was Matthew Tennant, and then it was
Matthew. No, what is his
Matt.
name?
No,
Doctor
David Tennant, and then Matthew. I'm mixing two of them up. It was David Tennant, and then it was
What is he?
11th Doctor.
Matt Smith.
That's Matt Smith. He used to play soccer. Like he was like a really good soccer player until he got hurt, and then he decided to do acting.
He took an arrow to the knee.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But then after Matt Smith left, I didn't really watch when Capaldi. That's the 12th Doctor. I didn't really watch that. But that's where I got the Doctor name, because I was like, I've been watching Doctor Who. I really like Doctor Who.
Yeah,
And then
a lot.
it's like, I'll be the Doctor.
Wasn't it initially longer than what it is now? Right now, it's just Doctor, right?
It was Hi, I'm the Doctor.
So yeah, I was Hi, I'm the Doctor.
And so now the final iteration, or at least the current iteration, is just Doctor.
Doctor, UMF, yeah.
My early gamer tag of MW2 was Seaman, which was a drastic mistake in that world.
I'm amazed to let you have it.
Well, that was before the days of like you can't offend anybody, but like I I was a kid. I didn't realize it. I'm playing MW2 and these guys are like, Seaman. I'm like,
Good name.
why are they doing this to me? And then I realized, I was like, oh. Like, as a growing child, I was like, oh, that's funny. I was like, I gotta change this. And I think I went to I Love Fulham. But that was my early on gamer tag, which was atrocious. Very bad. So
I will say, back when we were playing Battlefront, we'll talk about that at some point. But like our early gaming experiences. But we were playing Star Wars Battlefront, and we all had like names. And I think mine was Ian is Great, like my profile name in that game. Well, Mitch went in and changed it to Ian is Gay. Like, just.
and Mitch was, of course, so proud of it. He was like,
Yeah,
look at this name.
He still talks about it from time to time. If you mention it, he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I did that."
Yeah.
He'll bring it up.
Yeah, maybe will. Yeah, jeez, Mitch. Mitch will be a funny one to have on the pod. On the concast,
Comcast, yeah.
I'm pretty cheesy, but it's okay. So Gary, I'm gonna just mention how Gary. So as I mentioned before, we all drop in and out, and when one comes, one jumps, one comes. So Sean was the out person. He was, I don't know, raising a family or something stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Priorities.
Having a wife and children, like chill out. And I don't know. We were playing Siege. It was a 4th stack, and Gary was the like 5th guy, and he was a random. We never met him. We played with him. He did, I think, fairly well, but he was talking to us. And
Right. He was one of the few randoms that would talk.
yeah. And
Because we were always like, should we invite this dude to a party? Nah, let's invite him. All right, if he's a kid, we'll kick him out.
If he's a squeaker,
If he's a squeaker, we kick him.
Yeah.
Problem.
And we did that, and he joined, and I was like, oh, he's not a squeaker, he's a man. And he's like, hello. And I was like, what up? Like, do you want to be a duck? I was like, you can replace Sean. I think I texted Sean. I was like, we found a replacement. I think he was actually
Sean. He was not happy.
no,
No.
he was not.
We're like, Sean, we found a replacement for you. And I think Sean joined the party, and we were like, hey, Sean, this is the new you.
This is the new Sean. And he was just like, you can't do that. Like,
You
that's.
can't replace me.
I was like, I'm gonna just call him Sean. I think for like a couple of games, I was like, all right, Sean. And he's like, are you talking
Here's what
to
we're
me?
going to do.
I was like, yeah, I'm talking to you, Sean. Like, come on. And
Yeah,
then
but we won several games in a row.
We
It was
did.
Like we had a really good night. And we were like, hey man, we usually get on, these days and these days. So if you wanna join up, then
right,
we'll be on. So
and then
we
he
all
just kind
friended
of
each other.
yeah. And then I think I found him on Instagram. I think because his
You're a creep.
Instagram was the same. Well, no,
The same as his
it's
gamer
the same
tag.
as his gamer tag. So I found his Instagram. I was like, I found him, and he was like, okay. I was like, friend. I'm sure he probably thought I was weird. Somebody
Heyo.
just joined us.
Oh, it's
Whoa.
Shawnee boy.
Oh, it's Shawnee.
In the middle of the concast.
Yeah, you can't just join the Concast without checking boxes off.
Someone make this invite only.
What up,
But
Shawnee?
only.
Why is he so small? I can't even hear him.
Hey,
Oh,
my
there.
wife's
There we go.
day too, okay?
John, you get a haircut?
Uh-huh.
You look very handsome.
Drinking a White Claw right now. It's lemonade dairy, blackberry.
I'm a little confused on how I'm hearing you because it's not from that mic.
Yes, sir. These are the mics I'm using.
No, because
Oh, yeah.
that ain't it.
Everybody hear me?
Didn't even make any louder noise. Joins the podcast, lowers it, and goes, "How you doing?" Johnny, we were discussing how we became ducks and everything. We just finished
And,
Gary, and
Yeah,
how we
they
texted
were discussing. Yeah,
Saying
how
that we're
Gary was
replacing-
replacing you.
you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was a heartbreak night for me back in the day.
What?
I definitely.
What? I can't see your face.
I see him fine. Sean,
I
you're
see him
like
fine.
you're very skinny. Like
You're in
Are you on your phone?
portrait mode.
I don't know.
Are you
You're
on
in
your
portrait mode.
Huh?
Are you on your phone?
Yes.
Ah, I see.
I can do my laptop. Watch.
I'm sure you could.
He said watch.
You watch this.
Irvin. Boom. I'm here. Oh, there's a virus.
What is that?
I
Oh,
don't know. I gotta look at that now.
my goodness. I was just about to start the very short segment of being a dad gamer, and I actually wanted to ask, and I'm glad, Sean, you're here, because I know I have anxiety, like crippling social anxiety and awful things. But like when you're a
Is that
kid,
because you suffer from giantism?
yes, it's fatal. It's fatal. Ian's got
Okay.
huge gigantism, so Ian's got a whole other problem because he's ginormous. Do you when your child was like small, and when your child was small?
It's anxiety right now. Anyway, sorry. I'm sorry for interrupting. That's so very rude.
Where did Ian go? Yeah, he'll be alright. When your child was small, right? And you would game, and you guys don't have the same because you neither of were like single fathers doing it by yourself. But like when you heard your kid like crying when you were gaming, did it give you anxiety? Like, oh shoot, like I'm gaming and I have to like go. Or is that just me?
Well, I'm a pretty horrible father, so I'm gonna say no.
I don't even hear my kids. Been debating.
Love my,
I mean,
but shut up. I'm playing the game.
Interesting. See, I can't do that.
yeah, I mean, I think for me, and again, I'm not. Well, I guess I would game sometimes when I had the kids. And
See,
Karen
I don't
was
even
out.
like doing that. That gives me anxiety.
Well, I mean, when they were younger, it's like, I mean, we wouldn't ignore the kids, but if it was nap time, like we were pretty strict with their sleep schedule. Like they needed to sleep, and we were pretty committed to that. So if they were upset, we'd give them like 15 minutes of crying, and you just kind of had to deal with it.
Right.
Mute the mic, and just kind of keep playing. And then if it was like longer than 15 minutes, like, all right, boys, I'll be right back. But it didn't give me anxiety or anything like that.
Interesting.
But I think that's because we kind of had this sleep schedule, and that's credit my wife for that. But we stuck to that pretty hard.
I mean, I stuck with my daughter like really well with sleep. I mean, she's a great sleeper, as Ian can attest. But like, and I know Sean has said it to me. He's like, your kid is weird. Like, she sleeps. It's weird. Because whenever Gary's kids are like, he's like, like Gary, like my kids are going crazy or something. I'm like, what's wrong with your kid? Like, just they're sleeping. Like, what's wrong? But it always gave me anxiety. So I always wanted to ask, but I always felt like weird to ask because it's not like I don't feel like it's a normal question. Like, do you get anxiety when your kid is crying while you're gaming? Like, it just sounds stupid.
Well, I mean, I would almost say that you probably, at the very least, partly, if not mostly or completely, feel that way because you care about your kid, which makes you a good father. So,
Amen. Stop it. You'll make me cry.
I've already done that.
I won't lie. I usually
It gets weird.
be pretty sweet in a nice spot before I try the game. So they're pretty occupied, and I can see them. So it probably doesn't give me anxiety as much because I can see what they're doing.
That's true. You do have you have a nice little setup there. Actually,
Yeah.
Drew, I really like your background of your like setup. I really like the flag, and I like the like weird LED blinky thingies going on. You look like somebody I would see streaming.
Can you see my kid's school stuff in the background there?
Not until now. So
Okay.
now that's
All right,
all
well,
I
good. Now-
see.
Now, whoever watches this, they can figure out what we're doing for school.
Yes. Thank goodness. Maybe you'll give them
Well,
some
thank you.
ideas.
Thank you. One of these days, I wanna light up a cigar, but I have to get some air filters up here so it doesn't ruin the walls or whatnot. But
You don't need those walls. Tear them down, really.
down. Huh?
Builds a little bit of character.
Yeah.
A little bit of character makes them tough. Yeah.
Makes
That's
the
what I tried to
walls
tell my
tough.
wife.
Makes the walls tough.
My kids breathe great, so
There
Phenomenal.
you go.
You heard it right here. Sean's kids breathe great.
yeah, they're not dead, so we're
Let me
good.
write that down. Sean's kids.
Thank you, Ian.
Great. Still
I
working with Mike.
You're literally cutting in and out, Sean, every once in a while, and it's quite funny.
Great news, Bob.
It is. And then Ian looks like a real podcaster because he's got
Oh, no.
the actual mic. My mic is in front of me. You can't really see it. But like I want Ian's setup. Like I look at when Ian joined me on like Sunday night when we like tested this out, I literally was like, "Oh man. Like Ian's way better than I am." Like I only got my mic like sitting in front of me. Ian's got like the thing on the thing and the thing on the thing.
So the pop filter. I have like a little like thing that eliminates like noise from like taps.
Well, it's because he's put it in front of his face because he's hiding a grotesque wart on his chin.
That is true as well. It's
Yeah.
it's hiding under here, and I'm doing my best to hide it.
Sorry for making everyone aware.
Now they're just
Yeah.
gonna be looking for it.
Yeah. And I'm gonna even go further down.
Hopefully they'll
Oh, I
just
see
listen
that.
to it, and they'll never
Yeah.
see it ever.
Not surprised that you have that, but why do you have it? I feel like it's one of the things you would have. Like you probably have a Japanese sword or like, a Civil War gun. I'm sure.
I mean,
Don't
And-
have that. But so do you want? I can tell you exactly why I have this set up. So a while back, I wanted to do like kind of more music stuff that hasn't really panned out. But the mic, the arm, it was also I could like kind of work and do music stuff on my desk, and it just kind of hasn't panned out as I was hoping it would.
Ian, you shared a song with me, and one day I'm going to release it because the lyrics of that song I actually really do enjoy. I think you shared it with me like a year and a half ago.
Oh yeah, let me pull it up. Where's the notes? Where's my notes?
I have it
Notes.
still. It's quite good. John, you look really happy. Did you have a good day?
What did I call it?
I don't remember.
Uh,
I'm trying
Starting-
to remember. Oh yeah, my way home. I think
Yeah.
it's pretty good. I enjoy playing it from time to time. I just haven't recorded it because it's just I want to go into like a recording studio and do recording, but it's
Who did I?
just not been like.
Oh, it was. I was watching the Juice World's documentary, and he didn't realize, and I didn't realize this until he said it, that anybody can just go into a recording studio as long as you like pay.
Yep.
And anybody. I was like, what? I don't even know where one is. Like,
The one I know exactly where is John Grant. So the Grant's dad, John Grant, his basement is a recording studio.
oh.
forgot you actually go and set that up for him.
No,
Is it-
I did not go set that up for him. That
Right here on the podcast,
I-
Ian
I-
went and set up this entire recording studio.
like I went there and I like kind of shadowed him for like a day or two. It's fascinating and it was really cool. Like he has big like I mean it's like a full-fledged recording studio, so he has like this big board that he can like do stuff with, and it's attached to like a computer in front of him that like so when he does something on the computer it'll change the board. It's really cool. And then he has two like booths that are like basically a foam like an insane asylum full foam
Padded room.
walls, padded room.
That's funny.
So I like at some point I gotta come up with like a couple songs to take, and I've like I need to like take time each week to just do that, but that's sometimes it's hard to like motivate yourself to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. Motivation is a huge problem in my life. I like think of these things and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then when I get there, I'm like, I mean, like, do I really need to do that? Like, probably not. Like, and that's but actually with my streaming stuff, I've actually done really well with like keeping it like pushing it and going. I mean, I'm shocked.
With music stuff, you can see like the stuff on my wall here, and then the mandolin right here. The stuff you can't see is there's like a
that's the
bunch
mandolin?
of guitars.
Yeah, like
behind me.
800 of them.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. All right, I'm going to ask you guys a couple questions that I wrote down because I'm actually kind of curious and I never asked you guys this, and then we'll wrap it up and we'll call it episode, this is the maiden episode, and I think it's gone very well.
Oh yeah. Good.
So, what is your, and Drew's going to say Siege because that's all he played for 700 years. What is your favorite game to play right now?
Right now,
Right now. I'm going to ask multiple questions. So, right now, what is your favorite game to play?
That's a tough one.
I'm gonna go with Siege. Right now, it's Siege. It's
Yeah.
like it's the game I play the most right now, um, and it's probably the game I have the most fun in.
Yeah, I would say the same. I mean, obviously, I don't play very many other games, but absolutely, currently, Siege is it. I'm a social gamer, so Siege is what y'all play for the most part.
Yes, that's true. Johnny?
I think. I mean, it's obviously between Apex and Rainbow Six, but I would say that yeah, Siege is probably it because every Monday night, I'm like, oh, it's Monday, I'm ready to go. Like, let's do it. I was even telling you like a couple times you can go play Siege with them. You're like, no, I don't really feel like playing Siege. You know, it's
Yeah.
just Siege is kind of exciting right now.
That is true. Siege is not mine. I do love Siege. I just have to set up my Xbox again. And the issue, like, when I want to stream Siege, but then I have to, like, change everything over to it, and I just don't have the time. But I'm going to do that Thursday. I promise. So, Monday I will play Siege again. I would probably go.
All right, Drew.
Audio.
Drew's
Gotta
out.
fix that audio.
Drew's probably
Drew's out.
honestly.
Dude, I sabotaged your audio so I could play.
Flew up here, and he was like, snip. I would say probably Apex right now. I actually streamed like Police Simulator the other like 2 nights in a row, and let me tell you, I had a lot of fun in that game. It is ridiculous, but it's that was fun. But I would say probably Apex is mine. I'm gonna broaden this question to favorite game of all time that you played, like any game. And I know that's a lot. I know. I should have asked you guys before the show, but I just wanted to know. Like, I kind of know mine. I have 2 answers. You can have 2 answers. I'll let you have 2 answers. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, I gotta think.
So the first one, and Shawnee, this is because of me and you. The first one is Halo 3, because
Yep.
it's 3. Because we played the same map over, and it was
Turtle.
yeah, the turtle looking thing, and we were on the warthogs and the mongooses. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So that's probably
Me and Connor would purposely not kill the turtle,
yes.
so we going.
Yeah,
the whole
we
time.
would just reset it because we could kill the turtle so fast, but we had so much fun doing it.
Remember the one time he exploded and we were like just across the map.
Yeah. Halo 3, that was, and then like Halo 3, obviously for other reasons. I mean, like we played Halo 3 as a team, like as a group of people. Like I think Halo 3 or Halo Reach was when we did zombies, and we were on those like those were the real turtles. I don't remember what they were really called, but like everybody had shotguns, and there was like the people flying and jumping, trying to kill you, and they were the zombies. And then my second one, I will say, is Siege. Even though it's not my favorite game to play right now, I remember when we had a Blizzard. I think when like Siege kind of came out. I think it was like early 2016, like right after it came out. And I called out of work because I was not going to work in the Blizzard. And I think we played Siege like the entire day. And like it was so much. I think we like took a break to eat lunch, and then we took a break to eat dinner, and then we just kept playing like the entire day. And I think that was like core, like for my gaming, because I mean it's still around. It's 2022 and it came out in like 2015. I mean or it may have been 2016. I mean it's been around.
December 2015.
Yeah, and I like to take credit because when it first came to E3, I was like, this game's going to be awesome. Like, look at I also said that about Sea of Thieves, which it's a phenomenally beautiful game, but they ruined it because they did not do what I thought they were going to do. So I'm like 50-50 on good games. Anybody else?
Man, I mean, the obvious for me is Siege. As like an all-time favorite, not just because it's fun and I like to be challenged with the kind of the team aspect and how to play different maps and the skill that is I don't know, maybe less for me, but trying to improve on. Like that's been a great. But man, there's so many good games that I've played. I mean, Battlefront 2 was a great game.
Yes, it was.
Halo 3, Dying Light,
Dying Light.
Battlefield 1, like so all these cool games. So Siege and oh gosh. I have to say Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2.
That's a good one.
On the original Xbox. I mean, you can play it now anywhere, but yeah, that game was awesome.
I agree. You right there, Sean?
Yep. All right.
Ian?
I'll go next.
Yeah.
I'll go next. All right, so I'm gonna go kind of too off brand because I could say Siege and like Halo or something, but so my first one is gonna be like Modern Warfare 3. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. 3, not 2, not 1, 3. I loved it. Like I played it so much when it came out. Like so much so I got bored and got all the shotguns gold. Like I played them enough that I got like the special skin, like the gold skin for all of the shotguns. Cuz I was like, I don't know what else to do. And it was like really the start of me playing online games like Modern Warfare 3. Like like on my own at least, and it's just so much fun, and definitely not the best Call of Duty I would say, but it was my favorite. And then my other one, you guys probably never heard of it. It's called Desert Commander. It came out on the NES.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
So it came out on the Nintendo Entertainment System, and the reason why it's probably my favorite game, I haven't played it in forever, but it's the first game I ever played. And it's funny. It was a strategy game. Like you could control little units on the like board, and like you had to be careful. Like I remember once I didn't get one of my aircraft back landed, and it ran out of fuel and crashed.
It's kind of funny.
And I just remember I didn't play a huge amount of it, but it was like Dad had it. This was before we had the N64.
Oh, wow.
I'm pretty sure he traded the NES for the N64.
Oh, wow.
And that was one of the games we had, and we used to like it was a game we used to play together. I don't know if Dad remembers it like I do, but like I can I'll see you guys the Wikipedia page for it. But because it's a very, very old game. It says 1988 turn-based strategy video game.
Oh, wow.
It came out for the NES.
That is a long time.
Yeah. So those are my two favorite. Like, definitely a little off-brand. That's my brand, is being off-brand.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is Ian. That's pretty cool. Shawnee?
That's a tough one. I'm gonna be the guy that just tells you that I gotta go 5 games because I can't put them in order.
All right, well, give me 5.
All right, well, I'll give you 5 then. Don't worry.
Give me 5.
Wow. I'll do it. No, so Final Fantasy VII is up there, man. I mean, RPG of it's a legend. Even people that don't play it, like, yeah, I heard it was fucking amazing, and you're right, it is.
And you're right, it is.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's one of the best. I guess you call it, yeah, RPG. Yeah, I mean, that game is for sure in there. I gotta go. I gotta go. Call of Duty from when Modern Warfare came out to like Warzone. That was money. It was all about team death, and then that's when I learned. That's when I learned to bump up my sensitivity because Ian was like, "No, just bump it up like 2 dots every time you." And eventually, I
It gets 20.
20. It literally says insane on the screen. So that was a lot of memories there. Obviously, Halo 2 or Halo 3, like Khan said. There's just so many good memories that Drew with the the winter storm staying at my house. We'd come over to you guys play with you, him, and all of us on the screen.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean just a lot. And then us playing it, and it's not even Halo 3. It's really we played all the campaigns up until like what 5? I think we stopped at 5.
Yeah.
Did all the campaigns together. So it's just memories in that game. Not to mention the console wars. I mean, not console wars. What do you call that? The link.
TV link. Console link.
LAN.
Yeah, LAN party. That's what it is. Yeah, so definitely Halo 3, and then another one is the Jack and Daxter series. That's fucking amazing. Jack and Daxter was fantastic, and then they brought it because that game was so. It was only kicks and punches you could do, but then Jacked 2 came out, and that was awesome because it involved guns and vehicles, and he goes to a different world. It was a very, very unique little world that it starts out at. And then there's 3, which is even better than 2. So
yeah, I remember watching you play that. Yeah,
that game was awesome. If I had to pick one more, because I said 5, it's got to be Siege. So for every reason, everyone pretty much.
Yeah, Siege is our game that has been there consistently. Like
Duckers. I mean, it's really the only thing we ever played like together. We actually played. That's not true. We played a lot of Battlefield 1.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah,
of people. I mean, like, I think even Steven played, didn't he?
Oh right,
Yeah.
Steven was a duck for a while.
We didn't talk about Steven.
I forgot about Steven.
Hey Ben, if
There's
you're
a guy.
watching,
Well, we skipped Ben too.
we didn't talk about Steven. We didn't talk about Ben.
you
Yeah,
can't quack.
they'll be for another episode.
Another episode.
And then I have one more question: if you could get any other system, any other system, like NES, N64, Xbox, GameCube, what would you get?
Super Nintendo, hands down.
Oof.
Super Nintendo.
Mine would be N64. Bring back GoldenEye and
Oh yeah.
Smash.
Smash.
Yeah, it'd be N64 for me.
Yeah.
Too.
I have an N64.
Ship
Are
it
we
up
talk-
here.
Oh,
Ship-
yeah. I haven't.
I looked at an N64. On TikTok, some random dude, I don't know, comes on my screen and like he puts like old N64s in and ships them away and like all these different games and has all this like collection. And I went to look at how much an N64 was on his website. I think it was like $300 for like all
they're
N64
expensive.
and the cords and everything. And I was just like, that's not. I can't do that. But one day I will.
I
You gotta
don't
hope it
remember
works.
where. I don't remember where it's at, but there is. I think it's called Regen. It used to be in the White Marsh Mall.
Yeah, I remember. I went to see it. And I wanted to buy an N64 there.
Yeah. So I don't know where they moved. They're still around, but I don't know where they might be in Towson Town now.
It's kind of
But that if you're wanting to buy like an old console like that, I would go there first and see what they got.
They actually I've seen him at you guys know where the Amish market is on 43 or on Pulaski?
no.
I don't actually.
It's like where the indoor soccer was, like past the dump. It's past the dump. If you're going-
Oh, okay. Deep up there.
Yeah, so it's like halfway between like White Marsh and Mountain Road probably.
Okay.
But they've actually that's where I bought the PlayStation 1 version of the Final Fantasy game, and it was like $30 there. And he had a massive wall of just like classic games.
An Amish
and-
market?
Yeah, it's called the Amish Market.
But like
they have
the Amish had video.
no, that's not the Amish. It's called the Amish Market, but there's like anyone can be a
They're
vendor.
fake. They're
Yeah.
fake Amish.
I tested them. I said, "Who's who's Mr. Mormon?" They couldn't tell me. So
Yeah, that's about
That's it.
That tracks.
Sean's right.
Well done.
I said
Well done.
not Amish.
Amen.
Yeah, but they had N64s and they had all like the classic games. What's that Purple Dragon called? The
Spyro.
Spyro. They had Spyro. They had Smash Brothers. They had everything. I mean, they even had pretty much every console that was old.
That's
Too.
kind of awesome.
Do you remember Rogue Squadron for N64 Con? Rogue Squadron?
Yeah, I think so.
That's such a good game, too.
That was a good game. Me and Sean did. What was Rogue Trooper? When you said Rogue Squadron, I was
Rogue?
Rogue. The pistols. The pistol was the best gun in that game, and I only liked doing the pistol because he like unholstered it, and I was like, "That's so cool." That's just
For game is the fire. I don't know what you call it, mechanics was like super realistic.
yeah, it was
Like he'd have gun away, like actually put his gun away,
Yeah.
pull the gun. Yeah, like it was all very
they
meticulous.
did well.
Yeah, you don't expect it to be good, to be honest with you.
When you look at it, you're like, we would get like games from like the library. I think I might have been a library game.
Oh
Yeah, it was.
great game. Yeah.
It's funny. That's all the questions I really have for you guys, and I think that'll wrap up our first ever Let's Quack About It episode. I want to thank Drew, Daddy Bick, for joining me.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
The quacking doctor, Ian, and the late comer, Mr. Shawnee. And Sean, if you ever join the podcast and you are on your phone, I will kick you because it's terrible.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
I am Big
like
Con.
that.
What?
So I'd like to hear to everybody listening. Have a good night.
Thank you for joining Let's Quack About It. We will see you next episode.